Betrayal after betrayal. George Galloway strongly criticizes Keir Starmer and the Labour government in this video. We're going to be sharing Galloway's claims as well as topping it off with leadership principles that bring clarity to this moment. Before we hear what Galloway had to say, if you love diving into political issues and enjoy hearing a principled take on them, then hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel to join the conversation, which will also help our channel grow.
Now, Keir Starmer is a liability on multiple counts, some of them even to do with Ukraine. His blank check to Volodymyr Zelensky is now spreading its ugly, bloodied hand into Western Europe. As we predicted here on the mother of all talk shows, it would. It certainly would. We said all of these weapons with which you are flooding a European country will come back in the hands of terrorists and criminals. And some of the weaponry would be used to kill our own citizens on our own streets. Well, a very important Ukrainian dissident was murdered in cold blood in Madrid this very afternoon. Another Ukrainian dissident of some importance has already had 2 assassination attempts on him in the same European capital of Madrid. But the one today is a former member of the Ukrainian parliament, a former aide to the rightful president of Ukraine, who was ousted in a criminal coup d'etat beginning this war in 2014. He has been in Madrid for his protection. But protection came there none when he dropped his children off at the American language school on the outskirts of Madrid and was cruelly murdered in front of the children. He was shot 4 times in the body, and then as he lay on the ground, the final execution shot was administered to the back of his head. So Keir Starmer has, along with other European statesmen and women, conjured forth a veritable Frankenstein's monster in the regime that they have fostered and that they have buttressed and that they have stuffed with guns and money up their jacksie for these last 10 or more years. It was a very foolish policy. Starmer deserves to go for that reason only. But there are many, 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 many others. He just betrayed Britain's fishermen. He sold them out to the European Union. He's concluded a Swiss-style agreement with the European Union, which effectively, by one man, by the fiat of one prime minister, has reversed the decision of 17.4 million people in the Brexit referendum in 2016. It is an extraordinary thing that wasn't raised meaningfully in today's Parliament when Keir Starmer took Britain back into the European Union. And he wants us to rejoice that in certain European countries we'll now be allowed to go through the e-gates. I don't know about you. I found it a small price to pay for Britain's independence. If only we'd used it. If only we'd used that independence to have a different economic policy, to have a different policy on all manner of things, including foreign affairs, if you'll forgive the pun. But we never used it. And that's down largely to the British Conservative Party. But if Keir Starmer, who has now given free movement of labour to all European Union citizens aged between 19 and 32 and their families. So we're back to the Polish baristas, we're back to the Slovak carpenters, we are back to our young people competing for jobs with a flood of young Eastern European, Central European labour. Now, you may want that. I don't myself. I want British carpenters and British baristas. But you may want that, in which case that should have been in the manifesto that Keir Starmer stood for election on. If we're going to reverse Brexit, there will have to be another referendum before we can rejoin the European Union, which we have now in a peculiar and creeping semi-detached way now begun to do. So Keir Starmer has betrayed our fishermen, like he betrayed our old age pensioners, like he betrayed the 1950s women, the so-called WASPy women, like he betrayed Britain's farmers, like he betrayed all those.
After everything the Tories put Britain through, you'd have hoped that Keir Starmer and Labour would have stepped up. They're in charge now, and from what I'm seeing, they are making things even worse than the Tories ever did. Leaders are not elected to cause chaos. They are chosen to solve problems, create opportunities, and lead with a vision, building a stronger, safer, and more prosperous nation. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.